character doesn't make an appearance in the pilot. Can you talk about maybe when he appears on the show? And
yeah, he's introduced in the second episode.
Okay.
And I think I'm doing 10 out of 12 right now, so if it gets a back 9, we'll see how it goes. But it's been fun. I'm having a good time with it.
Can you talk about, Kara has a lot of different worlds that she exists in, her office life, her family, her superhero stuff. Where do you fall in that?
Well, Maxwell Lord is a high-tech billionaire who basically is trying to save the planet, through green technologies. And I think he believes that humans should save themselves, and that aliens or superheroes aren't necessarily a good thing for us. For one, he looks at Supergirl like she's a magnet for trouble. If she wasn't in the city, we wouldn't have other superheroes coming here, battling her, destroying bridges, costing our city money. And so I think he has a fascination with superheroes because I think he wants to figure out a way to maybe harness that power for humanity, but he's not necessarily pro superhero in it, or a super villain. It's not like he has I think he has an evil side, like he's trying to take over the world. He just has a very clear perspective on humanity.
It's pragmatic.
Yeah.
So as such, can you tease some of the tensions that will be occurring between himself and some of the other characters?
Yeah, I think for sure there's he has a fascination with Supergirl, and wants to find out more about her. Cat Grant and I have a history together, which is kind of a dangerous liaisons kind of history, tension, where it's an adversary, but it's a kind of a sexual. I think my character respects her and likes her, but also, we don't always see eye to eye on things. What else? I think, he's. Who else does he have scenes with? I had some scenes with James, he's kind of, there's a lot of different, like Kara has a lot of different personalities. I think Maxwell Lord has a lot of different facets to his personality. There's, in some places he could be very Trump-esque, where he gets in front of a news, crew, and he's trying to push his agenda. And then there's times where he's softer, and there's times where, there's stuff with it's so hard because I don't want to say things that so there's different. What I find with him, there's different levels of his personality as well. That just makes him grounded. It's not like he's trying to be something he's not. There's just different parts of his personality that come out at certain times.
And for you, what's the most challenging thing about being part of the show?
Wow. Well, he talks a lot. I gotta learn a lot of lines. That's probably the most challenging. I speak in chunks. But I'm having a good time on it. It's not like, not like I had to go through Navy SEAL training or anything. It's just this is one of those jobs that just is fun. That you don't have to overthink. You just kind of have fun playing it and work with the other actors and bring it to life. It's exciting for me to be in the superhero world. I haven't really done that in my career. I've done Twilight, but it was more of a fantasy world. It wasn't superhero stuff. So this is a nice introduction into the world of comic books.
And which of the comic book characteristics of your character have you retained, and what have you added of your own personality? Well,
I think in the comics he's a little more Forbes magazine and a lot more Trump-esque, and I think my character is more Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. Today's billionaire is a little different than yesterday's billionaire, so he's a little bit cooler, hipper, hopefully sexier. But the essence of the comic book character is there. But I mean, I like his flair. He always wears these colorful suits, you know, and so when I sat down with costume designer, I was like, let's give him a handkerchief and make the colors in the handkerchiefs like pop, you know, because I want him to have that flair of the comic book character, but I don't want to wear purple suits. You know? So I said to them, more Clooney and cover GQ and less Forbes magazine cover, you know, like he should be charming and charismatic, because I always find, you know, politicians, there's two ways to go about it. Like, you can either be very tough and stern, or you could win people over with charisma, and that's actually, you know, they say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to make people think he didn't exist, you know. So when you have a character who's super charismatic and saving the world, then he can win over the public. And that's a dangerous combination, because then that's where the power comes from, not from coming in and acting. When you have power, you don't have to come in and act powerful, you know.
There's a lot of light comedic tones in Supergirl. Do you ever get to play with those?
Some, you know, there's some like quippy, die-hard lines, you know what I mean? But I think it comes out of the tension. It's not meant to be super comical. It's like, you know how in Die Hard you have a lot of tension, and then there's like a line that makes you laugh. Yeah, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
You're in the format. You're not playing
yeah. No. You know, I think there's moments of that.
You're saying there's sort of like a dark humor to kind of diffuse some of the tension?
Some. I mean, it's an 8 o'clock show, so it's never going to be super, you know, bloody or super dark. I think it's meant to be a family show. And I think that it does have, you know, it's something that a whole family can watch, because I think adults can watch it and kids can watch it together, and you can enjoy it together. You know, there's parts of it for both.